Silas from Deep Color Adventures, and today I'm going to show you how to clean and lube your motorcycle, dirt bike, chain. It's very simple. All you need is chain cleaner and chain wax. You can buy these either on Amazon or Revzilla.com, and almost any motorcycle shop should have them. And then another thing you'll need is a wire brush to scratch off a lot of the dirt and stuff on it, and then a rag to wipe it when you're done. So first you're going to want to start off with the chain cleaner, and then all you're doing is just kind of getting it right in the sprocket. Kind of helps like mix it in there. And once you get it all around the chain, then you just let it sit there for like a couple, 2 or 3 minutes, and then never do any of these steps while your bike is running or anything, because you could lose your fingers and possibly your entire hand. You never know. And then it's good to get on the other side of the chain too. So for the next step, you need the wire brush, and then basically all you do is you go on all 4 sides. You go under the chain, which is the top of the chain on this side because of the way it turns around, and then also the inside of the chain, which is the bottom here and the top here, and then each side. So first we're gonna start off by this side. You just hold it and push decently hard to get some pressure on it, but you don't want to take your chain off your sprocket. You just want to scrub off most of the gunk that's stuck to your chain. Do a couple full rotations of this, do about 3 or 4 for every side. So you can already see that a lot of the gunk is already coming off before we've even wiped a lot of it off. So just spraying it helps too. The inside of the chain is the hardest, in my opinion. You just gotta find which way suits or is easier for your bike. But I do on the other side, get the bottom part of the chain here. Once again, we're doing like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 if you want, full rotations. Okay, so for the next step, you just want to run over it with the chain cleaner once again. You don't have to use as much this time because it's already wet from the first time we did it. So we're done with the chain cleaner for now. And then once you let it sit on there for a couple good minutes, again, this time, instead of using the wire brush again, you just want to wipe it off. And this is where you got to watch out. You don't want to grip it too tight where you just go with it, because you don't want your fingers getting stuck up there or anything. But you just want to do kind of a light grip, just enough where you're wiping up all that gunk. You see how black that is? It's getting all that stuff off. And I find that it helps to use a smaller rag, one that's not this big, because then it gets all caught up in there, which just happens. You want to do this a good couple full loops again, just like when you clean it, when you spray the cleaner on there, when you scrub it with the wire brush. What I find that helps is that you wipe here where all this gunk is coming off, because some of the times it just comes off here and then just goes back on the chain. You're just constantly in a cycle of like retaking it off and putting it back on. So I'm kind of wipe down the sprocket too, just to kind of get a lot of the gunk off there that doesn't go back on the chain, just for us to wipe it off again. And you do a couple more loops. So for the final step, you're going to use the chain wax. This really seals to the chain, kind of forms like a layer so dirt doesn't get stuck to the chain. It kind of just rinses off really easily. So to apply this, you pretty much just put it right on the sprocket. Then you just go nice and slow, make sure that it like soaks in there. So after at least 1 full rotation, if not 2, you get a lot on there. Kind of keep it going so that the chain wax that's on the sprocket here kind of keeps applying it to the inside of the chain, make sure that it gets all around it. You only have to do one side of the sprocket, it'll get all around. So once you let it sit and dry on there for about 10 to 15 minutes, because you don't want to go out riding and then you have all the dirt flying on it if you're riding it on a dirt bike, and then you don't want the dirt sticking to the wet wax. You want to give it some time to dry and seal onto the chain to encase it. So once you let it dry, you really see the difference. This chain was really rusty to begin with, but now you can only see little certain spots. This link is a little bit dirtier, but all the other ones overall, you can really see all the actual shininess shining through of the actual chain instead of all the gunk that was on it before. And remember, the chain cleaner and chain wax, it's available in a 3-pack for I think around 20 bucks, which is really good. It's a good investment instead of having to take your bike to the shop every time to get the chain cleaned. So those are available I got them on Amazon. I found them on revzilla.com, and they should be available in almost any motorcycle store. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this tutorial type video, we'll be coming out with some more shortly. We just gotta have some time to film them. And if you're new around here, subscribe for upcoming videos.